Hey YouTube, it's been a little while. I figured I'd put a little video up about what I'm doing with the old since I got some time to show you guys what's up. And since a lot of people got to my channel from this car, I figured I'd keep updating you on it. But anyway, so if you've watched some of my more recent Oldsmobile videos, you'll know that I've been dealing with some hard starting issues. The car it takes a lot of gas to start. It never was an issue when I first got this carburetor together and on it, and slowly over the course of the last 2 years or so, it's just gotten worse and worse and worse, and now it's getting to the point where it's sitting there idling and it's stumbling and running really rough and missing and causing a lot of problems. Now, I was actually afraid the other day that it was going to stall on me in traffic, and once it gets to that point, we got to do something about it. So I am going to take the carb off, rebuild the carb, clean the carb, and just do a service on it. It does look pretty gnarly. It's got varnish all over it. If you remember when I put this carb together, it was brand new, clean, shiny. I had it washed in a Cuda parts washer, so it was like totally brand new looking, and now it's all varnished and full of shit. So it's definitely something's definitely wrong with it. I also noticed this is sticking open. It's not. There we go. It sticks open. I don't know if that's going to be an issue or not. It's probably gummed up from the ethanol. But I'm going to be taking the carb off. But that's not what this video is about. That's just why I'm here. What this video is actually about is going to be deleting the rest of the emissions on this car. Now, the actual emissions, the smog stuff, the air pump, the catalytic converter, all that stuff, that's been gone for a while. I did a video on that a couple years ago, maybe at this point. What I'm talking about is the charcoal canister and possibly the PCV. I don't know about that yet or not. If I can figure out what's wrong with mine, I might just replace it. But ain't really charcoal canister. And the reason I'm doing that is because one of the issues I've had with this car the entire time I've owned it for the last 4 years or so is when I'm filling up my gas, it won't fill up. Like, you can't automatically put it on to like click 2 or whatever on the pump thing. It clicks off immediately if you try to fill it up really fast. So you have to sit there and hold it at like a quarter of the way, and it takes 20 minutes to get 10 gallons of gas. It's horrible. And I always figured it was because a lot of people said it was because of the aftermarket reman fuel tanks for these. The neck is not steep enough, or no, it's too steep, so fuel starts to fill up the neck before it gets to the actual tank, so it just keeps clicking the pump off. But I had a customer car come in at work that was having the same issue, and what theirs ended up being was a charcoal canister was all clogged up. And because this here hose comes off of the gas tank and vents into the charcoal canister, and this is an original charcoal canister on a car with almost 100,000 miles on it from the 80s, I bet you that's clogged up. So we're just going to delete this. It wasn't doing much of anything anyway. I don't care too much about emissions with this, so it's going bye-bye. This here is going to have, I'm going to put another hose on it because it's not quite long enough, and I'm going to stick it through this hole down here, and so it just vents straight to the atmosphere. I'm going to put a rain cap on it, like a differential, the differential vents that have a rain cap on it. I'm going to put one of them in the end of this hose and stick it through that hole so it doesn't get debris and stuff in there, but it also isn't venting fuel vapors into the under the hood area. It'll be venting it out from under here somewhere, so it's probably going to stink a little bit every time you shut it off, but it is what it is. It's not, I'm not too concerned about it at this point. I'd rather have a car that runs and operates smoothly than have one that smells good. But yeah, I already got rid of the hose that came off the charcoal canister and goes into the intake manifold, goes into it right there. One of those hoses was already deleted because of when I got rid of all the extra vacuum accessories on this and just made it bare bones. So I had it capped off, but what I'm actually going to do now that we don't even need this thing is I'm actually just going to take it out right here. It's just a vacuum port into the intake. I'm going to take this out and just put a bolt with Teflon tape on it and just stick a bolt into the intake manifold and block that off entirely since we don't need that on there anymore. So that is what I'm going to do with that. As far as the PCV goes, this is a PCV. The only reason I'm thinking about getting rid of this is because it is dumping colossal amounts of oil into this here bottom port of the carb right there, and I don't know why, because this engine should not be having that much blow-by. It doesn't really use any oil I just don't know where all that oil is coming from. I don't know why it's going in the bottom of the carb, and it's definitely not helping the carb stay clean. So a lot of this stuff, a lot of this here soot and stuff on it is oil residue, probably because the carb is just getting pumped full of oil every time the engine's running, because there's vacuum there and it's just sucking oil straight out of the top of the valve cover from the PCV. I don't know why that's doing that, but I have a junkyard PCV that I'm going to try and install. I'm going to replace this hose because it doesn't, this one's at a right angle. The junkyard one's from like a Chevy truck or something, so it's not at a right angle, so I'll have to do some fiddling around with it, but that is what we're doing with that. If that doesn't work, what I'll probably end up doing is doing something that is going to be kind of controversial here. I'm going to be installing road draft tube into this. Now, for those of you who don't know what that is, that's what they had before PCV valves existed. It's just a tube that runs from the hole here for the PCV and the valve cover right there. It runs around the back of the engine and straight out the bottom, and it has a bit of a it's cut sideways. It's a metal pipe, but it's cut kind of sideways, so when you're driving, the air from the road draft creates vacuum and sucks the blow-by out of the valve cover. It's what vehicles had in the 50s, 60s, and into the 70s before PCV valves were a thing. It is going back in time quite a bit. This car was never designed to have draft tube on it, so I'd have to make one out of a copper pipe most likely, as steel is going to be too hard to bend like that. But we'll see if I have to. I might just replace a PCV, and if it solves the problem, then it's fixed, right? But anyway, that's what I'm going to be doing. I'll post this video, and I'll post a video of what it looks like afterwards, maybe. It might not be that big of a deal. So anyway, that's that. I hope to put up more videos as the summer comes in. It's spring right now, but we just had a huge snowstorm, so there's snow on the ground again. But it was 70 degrees like 2 weeks ago, so it's getting there. I'll be a lot more agreeable to go outside and make videos once it's warm again. But anyway, hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one.